Well, welcome. Hi, I'm Dr. Furlong. This is our latest installment of Ask Dr. Furlong. This is our live Facebook segment. Today is Monday, the 18th, today is Wednesday, the 18th of October, and we are doing our segment today with a very special guest. This is Melinda Valdez. Melinda has been an ophthalmic technician at my office and working here for almost a year now. And she recently had our latest technology, laser vision correction. We'll talk about that in a second. But what I wanted to introduce the topic about today is with the latest laser technologies that we have available today, there's a new one on the block in the last year and a half. And what we wanted to talk about today is something called topography guided LASIK, or what's known in our office as Contura LASIK. This is a specific laser vision correction that we adopted almost 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, when it became FDA approved. If we look back at the history of LASIK, it's been around for about 25 years now. The first LASIK procedures were done in the early 1990s. It caught on in the United States about 1996, and now has grown to becoming almost a household word. But back 20 to 25 years ago, things were done a little differently. So for example, when LASIK was done, we used to tell patients that our goal was to greatly reduce their need for glasses or contacts, and our benchmark was getting 20/40 or better vision, because that's what you could see to pass your driver's test, and we like to point to that number and say, guess what, you can drive without your glasses. Nowadays, 20/40 vision is almost a disappointment, because the technology has gotten so good that the bar has been raised to where 20/20 vision is the norm. And in fact, with our newest technologies in the last 5 to 10 years, we've been well into the 90% range for 20/20 vision or better. With Contura Vision LASIK, which is also known as topography guided LASIK, we are seeing numbers not only high 90% for 20/20 vision or better, but we're seeing more and more patients getting even better levels of vision. So we're about 2/3 of our patients are getting 20/15 vision or better, and about 1/3 are getting 20/12 vision. We're going to talk about Melinda's results here in just a little bit, but I wanted to distinguish for a few minutes about how this technology is a little bit different than we've been using in the past. So in about 2003, we went from conventional LASIK, where we just typed in your glasses prescription, to custom wavefront guided LASIK surgery. And then in 2016, we now adopted another technology called topography guided laser vision correction. What topography means is we use the cornea's measurements, which is the topography. I just have a little bit of a visual here, but the corneal measurements to be able to drive the laser treatment. So as I said a moment ago, we used to just take your glasses prescription and dial that into the laser, and therefore if we could find 3 or 4 patients with the same prescription, they roughly got the same treatment. But nowadays, no 2 patients get the exact same treatment, because everybody's eyes are a little different. So with Contura Vision, we use a special measuring device called a topalizer, and it gathers up to 22,000 different elevation points on your cornea. Once it gathers that data, we look at the reproducibility of that data, and we can come up with a treatment plan that's going to treat that part of your eye specifically for you, which is different than just typing your glasses prescription in. Some of the data, I'm not sure if you can see down here, but this is one that I like to talk to patients about, because as I mentioned a moment ago, since we're getting levels of vision better than 20/20 frequently, almost 31% of patients in the FDA study saw better after surgery than they ever saw with their glasses or contact lenses prior. So if you could see before surgery 20/20 with your glasses as the best level of vision, almost 1/3 of patients could see better than that after surgery with no glasses, meaning they are seeing better than they've ever seen with their best pair of glasses or best pair of contact lenses. 93% of patients qualified for 20/20 vision or better. And as I said, about 1/3 got to 20/12.5 vision. Satisfaction, again, this is just a statistic that's right out of the FDA study. 98.4% of patients said they would have this surgery in a heartbeat again. That's the level of satisfaction that we're seeing. So when Melinda said she wanted to have laser vision correction, I said, well, we've got this new technology. We've got our great technology that we've had for many, many years, but I'd like to see if you're a candidate. So we used all of these sophisticated scans to come up with a treatment plan. then we got specific training to be able to do contour vision or topography guided LASIK. In fact, most laser centers around still don't have this technology, and that's varying for different reasons. It does take a lot more of our time. It takes a lot more of our technician expertise to be able to generate these scans that are going to drive the treatment. And if we can't get good scans on a patient, we can't offer this technology. So it does require a commitment to the newer technology that some of our other laser centers around may not have that level of commitment. And I've been informed that I was the first in Northern California to offer contour vision, and like I said, if you're a candidate for this, we're going to treat you with it because it's the best technology we have available. So when Melinda got all of her scans and she said, yeah, I'm ready for surgery, we talked about this, and I said, well, it looks like you're going to be a great topography guided LASIK patient, and we talked about it, and she said, thumbs up, let's do that. So Melinda, tell us a little bit about your experience. So how long ago you had the surgery, how the experience was, and what your vision is.
So I had the surgery in July, so about 3 months ago already. And you know, from the workup with the technician, they were really thorough, even explaining it to me. And then the procedure itself was very straightforward. You explained everything step by step to me, which was comforting as well. You know, I'm one of the laser technicians here, and so being on the other side is quite different from just assisting during the procedure. So it was comfortable overall. After the procedure, I went home and took a nap for most of the day. I did wake up with a little bit of burning. It wasn't painful, it just felt like I was in a room of cut up onions. But you gave me some numbing drops to use for comfort, and I fell back asleep. The next morning I woke up, came to my follow-up appointment, and I was seeing 20/10.
Wow.
So I can't complain at all. I'm able to drive and see much better than I ever have with my glasses and contact lenses. With, you know, oncoming traffic, the headlights, they always had that glare around them, and now everything's just much more sharper. Even cars coming up from behind me, you know, the glare that you get off of the rearview mirror of the headlights, that's way better as well.
So that's actually a good point, because if you go to the internet and you type in LASIK complications, the things that pop up are not phony, but they're frequently very outdated technology. So the one thing that you talked about, night vision, specifically, we are all taught as ophthalmologists to warn our patients that LASIK can cause increasing night vision problems. And with the topography guided LASIK that we've recently adopted, the FDA has validated the data in the study to basically say that patients as a whole had an improvement in their night vision rather than making it worse or even keeping it the same as a general rule. And what we believe is that everybody's corneas are a little different. If you've got some irregularity of your cornea on a microscopic level, this technology picks up on that irregularity, and this laser can then reduce or eliminate that level of irregularity, which we believe helps to improve in the quality of vision, not just the quantity of vision. And that's something that, if you look through other LASIK studies, is not there. They always report a certain percentage of patients saw halos around lights at night or saw starbursts, and we're now seeing for the first time patients saying that there's a reduction in those symptoms from what they naturally have already experienced. The other thing I wanted to point out is I didn't mention any numbers on 20/10. 20/10 is not like great vision, it's awesome. I mean, they oftentimes say Top Gun pilots have levels of vision that naturally have to be that good to function in that capacity. And 20/10 vision just means that an average person who has 20/20 vision, if they're, let's say, 20 feet from a target and reading the smallest line, a 20/10 person can be 40 feet away and see that same line. So it's basically twice, you have twice the visual acuity as somebody who's 20/20. And recently we actually had to update the projectors in our office to accommodate a 20/10 line. We didn't have that before because it was too small, people couldn't see it, and now we're starting to see some patients that can actually see down to the level of 20/10. One question I did have for you, Melinda, is since you work in the industry and you see patients coming in regularly who are thinking about doing LASIK, has having had LASIK helped you in talking with them about their options?
Definitely. I feel like I'm able to better educate the patient, and I'm overexcited for them to experience this, and they already come in excited to not have to wear glasses and contact lenses. So, I feel like I give them that extra push, just because they're that much more comfortable going forward with the procedure, having heard it from someone who's already had it done.
Sure. And also, you've been here long enough to know, as being a laser technician, that you got to experience the technology from the other side, so to speak. But because you're in the operating room with me when we're doing LASIK surgery, you kind of know the technology, what's available, and felt very comfortable. And I think that does make a difference, because when patients come in and ask us, and of course, most are very nervous. These are their eyes are talking about. Having somebody who having gone through the procedure really does help, answer their questions and allay their fears frequently. So if you are watching live, please go ahead and submit questions. We've got a few that we'd like to start answering now, since our time, we have about 5 to 6 more minutes. So let's go ahead and take the first question.
Now that you have LASIK, how has it changed your lifestyle, and what do you like to do with
My new eyes.
when you're not working?
Yeah. So I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I like to take her to the beach. She loves going to the beach. So being out in the water, without having to worry about getting sand in my eyes with my contact lenses in, or getting my glasses all fogged up, it's much more convenient. My daughter, she is in a gym class that she really likes to go to, and so she's very active, so I have to keep up with that, and classes definitely get in the way. These are just a few pictures. This is my last glasses selfie, which I was very proud to take. And me and my family, my husband, my daughter, so they like to keep me very busy.
Dr. Furlong, if this technology is available, is there a reason that other surgeons don't utilize this technology?
Well, there are some surgeons that are starting to look seriously at this technology. What I can share from my experience is that it's been available for a year and a half. At the time I had my office certified, you have to go through very detailed training and analysis on these scans to make it worth your while. It's a level of commitment that requires the doctor and the staff to buy into it. And there is an investment monetarily as well, because it's newer technology. I can speak from my experience that the results are excellent. It's another tool we have to help patients see their very best. And when new technology comes out, I'm very interested. I investigate it, and if it's the real deal and will bring benefits to our patients, I will adopt it.
Is this technology the best technology? Is that the most important consideration when someone's choosing to have?
Well, I think the most important considerations are, first of all, making sure you're a candidate for laser vision correction. That's the first step. Not everybody is. And so we bring patients in for an initial no-cost consultation to come and get educated, to come and learn about our technology, and to see what they may be a good candidate for. Once we are able to bring a patient in and examine their eyes and gather the necessary data, we can have a pretty quick conversation about what options they have available. That's the starting point. No cost, free consultation, come in, see if you're a candidate, and then we'll talk about candidacy for all of our laser techniques and technologies, including the topography guided surgeries.
Melinda, do you have any tips for patients who are considering this?
Come in for your appointment tomorrow. Just give us a call.
Yeah, it is pretty easy. Come in, it's about an hour of your time. Give us a call, find out when you can come in and meet with us and see what you'd be a good candidate for. Right now, this time of year in the fall, it's open enrollment time for many, many companies who are now doing their benefits for the upcoming calendar year. So we see lots of patients in the fall to see if they qualify for LASIK, because you can oftentimes pay for a significant part of the surgery with pre-tax dollars using your employee's flexible spending account. So if you're in that boat, give us a call, come in, we'll see if you're a candidate, so you can not miss the boat on 2018, because you have a period of time where you need to sign up for those benefits.
Melinda, was there anything in your vision correction experience that you weren't expecting or that surprised you?
No, not at all. I feel like I was well educated on the procedure. Everybody answered all the questions that I had.
One other thing that was important, that when Melinda had her surgery and I thought about it as we talked about candidacy, is not everybody is going to be a candidate for either topography guided for one reason or another, but not everybody's going to be a good LASIK candidate. One of the other things that I will tell you is, if you're not a good LASIK candidate, what your other options are There are lens implants that can help a significant portion of our patients, and some new lens implants that have been recently FDA approved that I've been starting to use for selected patients when it's in their best interest as well. Looks like we're coming to the very end of our Ask Dr. Furlong live Facebook segment. If you have follow-up questions, please submit them online. I'll get to those later today and answer those online. Thank you for attending and watching our Facebook Live segment. Thank you very much, Melinda, for speaking to your experience, and we look forward to seeing you back on a future Facebook Live segment with Ask Dr. Furlong.